All right, welcome back, biology class. Today we are doing part 4 of Unit 7 in evolution. Part 4 is about cladograms and phylogeny. Our learning target today is I can observe how species are related by creating a cladogram. And then our bellwether question is, what is a cladogram? So let's jump into this. Cladograms and phylogeny. So cladistics is a classification system which is based on common ancestry. So we look at individuals to see who their most common ancestors are. Phylogeny is the evolutionary history for a group of species. Evidence from living species, fossil record, and molecular data shown with branching tree diagrams show us phylogeny and cladistics. So let's move forward. So cladistics is a common method to make evolutionary trees. Uses classification based on common ancestry and species placed in order that they descended from the common ancestry. You'll see many differences. Here you can see a bunch of primates like gibbons, orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, humans. You can see some of the differences that they have. Scientists don't always know the truth. It is all an assumption of what is more likely to occur. For example, here we have these two ideas. In the first one, we have, 3 types of birds. 2 of them have red feathers and 1 doesn't. It's less likely that these red feathers evolved separately from each other. It's a lot more likely, which would indicate these red marks here. That shows that these are separate from each other. It's much more likely on the branching over on the right side that the red feathers evolved before those 2 birds did, and then the 2 birds just kept the red feathering. That's more economical. It makes more sense from an energy standpoint. That's what parsimonious is that, it's being more frugal and doing things in a more economical way. Okay, let's look at parts of a cladogram. There are derived characters, which are traits, characteristics shared in different degrees by clade members. Clade members are the different organisms on the tree. Basis of arranging species in cladogram: more closely related species share more derived characters, which are represented on the cladogram as hash marks. So here's a good example. So if you look at this cladogram as we move up, every single animal on here has a backbone, which is why this backbone slash is at the bottom. But then as we go up, notice we go to an organism having lungs. Well, fish don't have lungs, they have gills. But everything above lungs, salamanders, lizards, mouse, chimpanzee, human do. Then we have claws or nails. Everything above has them. Fur or mammary glands, only the mammals have those. And as far as opposable thumbs, only the chimpanzee and human. So everything below one of these traits or properties, these other species simply don't have them. And it's what helps us to differentiate or separate the species from each other and see how closely related or how distantly related they are from each other. On a cladogram, you have these points where things branch off, these round areas. You can see them. They're colored here like blue, red, pink, green, red. These are called nodes. They represent the most recent common ancestor of a clade. So like right there, that's a node. Right there, that's a node. And that represents a brand. So this is a node. And then these are branches. Clades can be identified by snipping a branch under a node. So for example, this is an area where we have a node here, and then it branches off into these 2. Or we can have something larger like this over here. So then how would you make a cladogram? Well, first you could set up a table like this and then figure out all the characteristics that these things have, and then you can make your branches based on that. So if we look at a fish does not have legs, but it does have a mouth, and it does breathe underwater, but it has no hair. A human has all of these things, right? It's got legs, mouth, hair, doesn't breathe underwater. chicken, leg, mouth. And so we could use these as distinguishing features to separate these from one another. Okay. I think I made a mistake. I should have said fish don't have legs. Sorry if I put that in there before, but they just breathe underwater and they have a mouth. So they have some of these things, but not all of these things. So our ELC question of the day then is, which species is or are more closely related to species S? So here is species S here. What out of this list is most closely related to that? And that ends our presentation.